we have read once again another story, this time in the New York Times, about the trend of women opting out of the workforce after having children, trying to opt back in. This time we're told that some of the women who were profiled 10 years ago, who had opted out and now are trying to opt back in, are having a hard time. Limor, you recently married.
Yes.
You are an incredible entrepreneur with all these great companies that you have created. What's your perspective on all of this as you look forward to, I think, one day being a mom and obviously being very committed to your work as well?
Right, and so I think one of the things I always thought I was going to do was just stop working for a couple of years, raise my kids. But now, the more that I'm getting into that age, and that's more of a possibility in the near future, I realize that it's more about work isn't exactly just 9 to 5, going into an office anymore. I'm kind of building my company so that I can work from home, work at odd hours, do things where I might be able to juggle both my job, my personal job, and then any kids that might come up. So,
it's interesting because this is something I've dealt with for almost 30 years now, being a parent, and I do think things are changing a little bit in that certainly when I came up, you had to go to work, you had to go to the office, and if you wanted to rise up in an organization and be a manager, you had to be there. But still, there are so many ways in which we have a culture and a society that makes it really difficult to come back in and
or to stay in.
Yeah.
Right. It's difficult because there's automatically expectations that work is no longer your first priority for women who have children in a way that is not seen for men. I could go on at length, as you know, but
but Ruth, you've seen this through the generations. Do you have a sense that this conversation is just a retread of what we've had before, or are there new dimensions to it?
I think there are new dimensions. Like you said, the workforce is so different now. And when we started out 30 years, for me, over 30 years ago, I sort of philosophically, I always think of myself as someone who would stay home with my kids. But the truth is, I worked from the very beginning. When I even started a daycare center, was the first infant toddler program in a synagogue. And so I saw mothers and fathers coming in and out, lawyers, doctors, everything, and they were just developing. But I think the thing that is unfortunately true is that the Jewish community still hasn't figured out how to deal with it. And I think that that's such an opening for the community to really be supportive of families with young children, regardless of their age, regardless of their financial background. All of them need help.
It's true. Those articles really did focus quite a bit on the workplace, but other community organizations being supportive of families as a whole is another side of it.
I think that the Jewish community creating kind of a supportive environment would lessen the need sometimes for some women to feel that they need to opt out. I think a lot of women, particularly in certain professions, feel that they need to opt out because they have no choice. They have extreme pressures at home, they have extreme pressures at the office, and if one has to give, your children come first. And I think if we as a community could develop some ways in which to create an environment where maybe women don't have to make that choice, then we create some, different possibilities.